waiter hanggang ngayon.
Alas 6 na, wala pa rin yung bartender
Wala
natin.
pa rin.
Ano ba naman yan?
Ayun na nga nag-post na tayo dyan ng wanted,
Sa labas, di ba? Mayroon wanted bartender, waiter.
Pero at least umaasenso na.
Well, kasi last week, ako lang may upuan eh.
Yan. Kita mo? Padala kagad tayo. Tsaka, kita mo naman, may sahig na tayo ngayon.
Kaka-install lang na kanina.
Oo. Kita mo naman.
Welcome to the second episode 2 of the Bro Show here on Sports 5.
Hey, bros.
.ph and another busy day for sports today.
Lots of things, especially today.
Especially today. What happened today?
Miss Universe.
Uy, tapos na yun. Hindi ka ba nag-get over?
Yun, nakita ko kanina si MJ sa sa TV.
TV?
Okay.
TV. Wala, doon ko lang nakita.
Nakita mo?
Kadalasan sa Araneta ko lang nakikita eh.
We're trying to, we're trying to get her to guest dito sa Bro Show. Kasi sports related rin naman eh.
Oo nga naman.
Diba?
Bakit siya sports
May connection rin naman siya sa
Ano yung
sports.
connection niya sa sports?
Sports lover.
Balita ko, nanonood daw ng basketball yun.
Oo,
Sports
mahilig
lover.
manood.
May favorite team ba yun?
Kami yata. Sa balita ko lang.
Teka mo sandali, why are we talking about Miss Universe? I think the big event this morning was the
Super Bowl. Congratulations,
Saan?
I cannot. May nagwawala sa labas.
Hindi, kasi gusto nang open na po kami. Hindi, open na tayo. Open na tayo.
May gusto
Ang dami
na
pumasok
eh.
kasi ang haba ng linya natin sa labas.
Sabi, alas 6 ba kayo? Alas 6?
Hindi, actually,
May beer na ba kayo?
papasukin na nga yan. Yung bouncer, sabihan na natin yung
may bouncer tayo.
Haba ng guest list.
Oh, anyway, so Super Bowl.
Super Bowl?
There were people who were interested in the Super Bowl. They were excited
Cannot accept it.
Bakit?
Alam mo naman, Yankee fan ako. So, anything against
Anyone,
the Yankees.
ano yun? Hashtag anyone but Boston.
Anyone automatic na yan.
Yung New England Patriots kasi yung nanalo kanina. Actually, Super Bowl for me, it is acceptable that that's the only football game you watch the whole season. For me. That's what the Super Bowl is about. And Tom Brady winning yet another. Ang daya nito si Tom Brady.
Oh. He took the air out of the game.
Frankly, deflate gate. Pero grabe Tom Brady. I mean, that's the life.
Panalo ka na sa game.
Panalo ka pa sa buhay.
Pag-uwi mo, panalo ka na naman.
Grabe, Tom Brady. Super Bowl champion. Many times Super Bowl champion. Tapos, pag uwi mo pa, nandun si Giselle. Giselle, the supermodel wife.
Kasi ako, lang ako eh. I'm like most Filipinos. Nakikitweet lang ako. Kunyari, alam ko yung nangyayari.
Pero kanina nag-tweet, nag-tweet.
Ano tunit?
Siya daw, excited makita yung kung ano-ano dun sa Super Bowl. Hindi naman pinapakita dito yung sinabi niyang
Ganun.
Pero yan, maganda, si Katy Perry.
Yung isang shark daw, hindi alam kung ano nangyayari.
Ha? Hindi, mukha nga ginaganahan. Kita mo, yung shark na yun.
Alam mo ba si Katy Perry? Ano yan?
Ginaya yung shirt namin before,
Sa inyo nakita
kami,
Alam niyo ba si Katy Perry, Phil?
Ha?
No. Ang totoo pangalan ni Katy Perry Martinez.
Ganun ba?
Dating referee.
Katy Perry Martinez.
Kaya pala siya sinama doon sa halftime.
Taga-Ilocos.
rin. Basta ang daming viewing parties.
Maraming viewing party. Because, I think Filipino sports fans, by nature, we also follow American sports.
During Super Bowl lang.
Parang World Series.
World Series.
And there are people medyo, parang, ba't makikitweet ka about the Super Bowl? Hindi ka naman nanonood ng NFL. You don't really follow it, don't know the rules. But for me, you know what? If feel mo manood ng Super Bowl, that's the only game you watch, it's fine. I mean, that's what sports is about.
And it's full-on entertainment.
Yeah.
Yung Super Bowl, di ba? If you get to watch it in the States, di ba? Meron kang, the live feed from America. You have the game,
And
you have the commercials, and then you have the halftime show. So talagang lahat, sulit na sulit. Sayang lang dito, wala yung commercial eh.
Well, we wanted to show it, but kailangan daw magbayad.
Legally?
Kailangan magbayad din mga commercial eh. Hindi na pwede libre. Kahit
ganun.
Hindi natin pwede pakita kung tayo nga naghahanap pa ng commercial natin.
I know, but it's all on YouTube, so
Yeah.
you can
catch it there.
You can catch it
And,
eventually.
and also us, very soon.
Eventually. Yung Bro Show, you can also catch it on YouTube soon. And iTunes and Google Play. Para, all the bros worldwide
dami nagtitweet
can watch the Bro Show. Okay, ano pa pag-usapan natin?
All-Star.
All-Star, NBA All-Star.
Akala ko PBA.
Hindi,
NBA
NBA
Di ba,
All-Star.
ano ba yung si Jimmy, automatic birth na ba siya?
Saan?
As an all-star?
Pwede ba yun?
Parang I was reading something in the...
Nandun na siya sa stalwarts and yung category ko. Ganun na. Kasi retire na siya eh.
Parang bibigyan ata siya ng
special slot,
Special slot.
I would have a problem.
Sure.
I would have a problem with
Research
that.
natin yan.
But yung-
Research natin yan. Check ko yung Twitter.
Yung sa NBA All-Stars, do you feel strongly about certain players that were included or left out?
And actually, I felt very strong about the issue in which some guys would get picked and they're not, their teams are not doing well. And then, tinulog ko siya. And then I realized that that's an argument. And the other argument is actually all-star.
What about the All-Stars?
All-star. It means that people come out to see you.
So you
it's
should
not
be,
really...
So
it's
you should
not-
be a star.
Yes, exactly. Because there was when they had the show, the selection show, and one of the guys that you probably would say dapat hindi kasama is Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Okay, because he didn't play enough games and everything. But when you really think about it, the argument dun was, okay, how can you have an all-star game without
Kevin Durant?
Yeah. Because he's arguably, top 3, top 4 stars of the game.
Yeah.
So parang you become really on the fence about it. Na ano ba talaga? Should you get guys that are stars?
Or guys
Real
or
stars?
guys that are playing well.
Playing well,
Kasi
but
magkaiba
are
yan eh.
not stars.
Ayan na yung...
Kasi because, like kunyari, Kobe Bryant, there's a big debate. Let's say kunyari, let's pretend that Kobe's not injured and he can play in the All-Star game. There are people saying he doesn't deserve to be in the All-Star game because, he hasn't been playing well.
Yeah.
Of course,
Well enough compared to the other
compared
guys.
to the other guys. Ako naman, sagot ko dun, but the All-Star game is a fans game.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's not
Yun
for
naman,
the coaches, it's
That's
not for
right.
analytics,
That's
it's a
right.
fans game.
Now, ito naman yung flip nun, okay? It's not for the coaches. But the coaches chose the next
Select-
7.
Kasi yung
Diba?
fan vote lang is for the starters.
The starters.
Oh.
So that the coaches chose the next 7. Then it goes back to me again saying, okay, I know and I'm condescending nga, sila pumili kay Kevin Durant. Eh.
Yung coaches.
Yeah,
the
which a
coaches.
guy that didn't play enough games,
games,
to start with. And then you would go and say, okay, Dallas is top 5, top 6, or right up 7. Not a
Tapos
single
wala.
All-Star. Not a single All-Star. And you have teams like the Thunder, which are 9th in the league,
And they
and
have
have 2 All-Stars. Parang-
But they're stars.
But they're stars.
they're stars.
Yan ang
You have
ano.
to understand, kasi yung coaches, they want to win. Siyempre, kahit sabihin mong all-star yan for the fans, pero yung coach, parang gusto pa rin niya under his belt, napanalo siya. He won the all-star game.
Lalo na if in the future, baka makuha mo itong mga stars. Kung maging free agent yan,
You're going for the
you're
best
interested
available
in getting
talent.
them.
Kahit sabihin mo, nagsistruggle, been playing enough games, pero, and plus the fact that fans still want to watch those players. So,
Yun lang yung ano. It's a weird situation. I actually had that argument that if you have to have a good year to be an all-star, but then when you think about it the other way, sandali, the stars have to be there.
Yeah, it's an all-star game.
But then, paano ka magiging star kung hindi ka papiliin ng all-star miskin ganda na nilalaro mo? Let's say like Damian Lillard. Oh, 'di ba? Parang
yeah, masaklap yun. But that's also the consequence of playing in the loaded West.
or in a
kasi-
small market.
Yes, pero grabe. Sakit kay Damian kasi di na nga siya nakuha sa Team USA.
Tapos ito na naman.
Tapos ito na naman. So talagang baka after All-Star break, he'll probably average like 40 points per game. Or 40
Sama ng
points
laro
per
niya
game.
pagkatapos
40 points per game or something. But okay, last question before we take a break. You think people take the All-Star game selection too seriously?
yes.
Yes.
Kasi everybody has his own bet. And then lahat sila. Siyempre, I don't think anybody would be happy with the selections, with all the selections. Sabihin, bakit ito hindi nasama? I mean, in any selection that you have, sabihin mo ng 25 greatest, 40 greatest, all-stars, I mean, lagi meron magiging question, bakit hindi nasama to, hindi nasama si ganyan. Dapat everybody should be considered great na lang eh. Di ba? Or everybody should be considered an all-star. Para pati kami damay.
Actually,
Diba?
ganyan din sana isipin ko until you were selected as a stalwart.
Yes.
Doon nasira yung ano ko eh. Doon
No,
parang,
no.
ha? Bakit?
I brought the house down.
Binaba mo yung level.
Brought down.
I still have to check my
Meron ba
schedule.
tayong
kasi
ano?
this
Sana
year-
meron tayong clip nung ano niya.
Ito? Next
All-star
bro
niya.
show, we'll show the clip. Kaya lang sa YouTube, so hindi natin mapapalabas.
Ay, bawal.
Bawal
Hindi,
na.
I will give the permission.
You'll give the...
Ilan ba na-score mo nung ano?
I think some 3 points. Sino importante? 3 points. 5 points.
Basta
Seven,
Pwede na, career high na rin yun.
kasi naman, sinasabi nyo nga, di ba?
Oo.
All-Stars para sa fans.
Oo.
So gusto nila mapanood, yung mga hindi masyado napapanood.
Yeah.
Eh, yung mga kakampi ko. Sol Mercado. Mac Cardona. John Wilson.
Ay,
Mga walang hilig tumira eh. Hindi pa ako nakakatawid ng half court
Nakatira
na.
na, nakatira.
Tumitira na eh. So doon pa lang pagod na ako eh. Kaya hanggang 3 points lang talaga pinakamalayo ko narating. Doon ko na lang tinira.
Tinira mo na.
Oo, doon ko na lang tinira.
but
But
yun ang
magagaling
first
yun
and
ah.
only 3-point shot made mo in the PBA.
In a PBA sanctioned
event.
Yes. Kasi piling-pili yung mga shots ko.
No, actually, ako, I'll be very fair. People kasi think si Chard walang tira eh.
Oo.
Kasi yun yung parang unfair reputation sa kanya eh, di ba? But ako...
Unfair,
Unfair, oh. I played with this guy for mga 5-on-5 yan. Well, talaga, may tira talaga si Chard sa
Ako lahat
labas.
naman ng kalaban ko, katulad mo. Diyos ko naman. So alam ka namang hindi pa ako tumira nun. Saksakin ko na lang kaya sarili ko.
Hindi naman sa labas eh. Okay, speaking of All-Star, we'll be joined by ilang beses din nag-All-Star to PBA All-Star.
Kinabit nga natin yung
Ayan, ayan. Because parating siya. Pina-interior decorate natin itong bar
yes,
natin, no?
yes,
With
yes.
jersey, picture, hello?
Ayun.
Picture, yeah. Okay. So we'll take a short break. When
Controversial tong guest natin.
Bakit?
Di naman.
Di naman?
Hindi, he's been in the news. Hindi naman controversial. But
May tatanong ka ba sa kanya mamaya?
lahat naman tayo may
Para may gusto kang tanong eh. Para ba gusto mong tanong?
kung pwede yung mahinging sapatos.
We'll have Coach Jeff Cariaso, The Bro Show, when we return. Welcome back to The Bro Show, and as promised, we have our special guest this week, Coach Jeff Cariaso. The Jet!
The Jet.
The Jet, ha?
How you
Welcome
doing,
back.
guys? Thanks for having me on. Nice to be here. The Bro
Matagal
Show.
kayo hindi nagkita.
Oo, matagal. Mga 2 conferences.
Several months.
Do you miss him? Do you
I
miss
miss him a lot. Oh gosh, God.
Hey, it's bawal to lie, ha? So you have to tell the truth here.
I always tell the truth.
How are you, Jeff?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, a lot of things going on, a lot of changes, but working out. It's working out. So very happy.
Tanong na lahat, anyari?
What happened?
Hindi, wala. Moving on.
Hindi, alam ko nagpalit ng lifestyle si Coach.
Bakit?
Kasi dati manginginom to eh. Eh ngayon, gatas na ininom.
Healthy.
Healthy lifestyle na
But
eh.
there's one
changing my
guy.
lifestyle.
Yeah, there's one guy who was really happy with his move from our team. You know.
Kaya kasi kanina medyo awkward eh. Hi Jeff. Hi.
Naka-grand slam eh.
Nakinabang eh. Nakinabang eh.
Hey, Jeff, thanks pala.
You still owe me half.
Hindi ka ba kinabahan nung, naku, baka bumalik? No, so how many? So you're with Alaska now. I mean, you're.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
It's was it an emotional moment? Kasi parang full circle. You started your PBA career with Alaska, and now you're back.
Right.
Not the first time you went back to Alaska, but you're back to Alaska
Second
again.
time,
Yeah.
Was it emotional? No, not at all. It was a good feeling. It's sort of my homecoming, sort of. You know. I'm just really happy that, you know, Alaska, especially Boss Fred and Dickie, just, you know, they're still interested. You know, I think they see what I can bring, and I'm really actually blessed na I have that option. I had that option to go back to them. So.
Grabe, no? Looking at the pictures, no? Parang wala masyadong nagbago kay Jeff,
Parang
eh,
last
no?
year lang yan.
Ano yan? Parang, ano ba yan? Ikaw tsaka si Kenneth.
Kenneth.
ba yan?
Oh,
Kenneth,
si
to?
Kenneth yan. Oh, same
Parang,
pa rin.
Last
Jeff,
year
parang
lang
you
yun,
don't age, ha? You look the same.
Parang walang stress eh, no?
Ngayon lang yun.
Pag-coach
That
na yun.
that started mga 1 week ago.
Oh, yeah, no?
1 week
So,
ago.
well, it has to be asked.
What has to be asked?
No. I mean, how was your experience with Ginebra?
You know, Ginebra, I think was interesting. No, it was first of all your opportunity to become a head coach, and I think as
Yeah.
coaches, you all want that opportunity. Although you knew going into that situation that it was going to be really difficult. So, you know, just to make a long story short, you really need time. You know, nothing happens overnight. So, you know, when you're promised the time and you're not given the time, then, you know, that's their decision. It's not up to me anymore. You know, with what we're trying to bring and just a change of culture, just the attitude of the player that you're trying to sort of embark in them.
Yeah.
You know, because obviously being under Coach Tim, you don't just win now.
Yeah.
You establish something and you win consistently. But you have to allow that to establish. So, hindi nangyari. And you know, again, you know, I don't regret it. I don't feel bad. You know, if I'm not the guy, then I'm not the guy. So I'm ready to move on. I'm happy to be an Alaska ace back again. So.
Sabi, ang bilis eh, no? In less than a year, and all of this happened in less than a
just
year.
crazy. It seemed like just yesterday
Yeah.
we just won the second championship.
That's
Now all
right.
of a sudden, okay, you know, this happened. But you know, like I said, it's how it happened. You know, we'll only grow from this, no? We'll only grow.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Kino-compute ko yung ibabayad ko sa kanya. Hindi yung ano eh. Kaltas mo sa ano eh.
Ano man sayo mo dyan?
Kalahati lang pwede rin yun.
I have a two-part question about
Sure,
your Ginebra
sure.
experience.
Yeah.
Part one is, what was the hardest part of being Ginebra's head coach? And
Okay.
part two, what was the best part of
best
being
part.
Ginebra's coach? So let's start with the hardest part.
Okay, I think the hardest part of being being the Ginebra coach was just having everyone on the same page in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
So I thought, I mean, you know, this is just me,
Yeah.
diba? And you know, you guys are my friends. You don't have to agree or not, but I thought we were on the right track.
Yeah.
So, like I said, when you're not given the time, it's hard. It's really difficult. Nothing happens overnight, and you really have to have that full support from management to coaches. Obviously, it even includes the players and also the staff, the ball boys. So there has to be a connection there. When there's no connection, you know, it's not going to last, and it didn't last. So that's just to be frank now. So the best part was, I guess you can say, was also that, just the fact that, you know, the pressure, the stress that you deal with, the you coming in every day trying to get these guys on the same page, and even with the wins and the losses, that's also the best part. So you know, the fans are great. You know, people say that sobrang dami na ng fans, and they do.
Yeah.
Dumami yata ng Twitter followers ko. In a week, it went up like, I don't know,
Pero
couple few
nung
thousand.
natanggal ka ba, nabawasan?
Nabawasan din. Hindi. Actually, ito nakakatawa. Yung natanggal ako sa Ginebra, mas dumami yung followers ko. Dumami. So it's one of those things where they're really fanatic about their team, and I really love them. I had really a lot of positive comments from all the fans, so I really want to thank them for that.
You think the fans also parang share your view that you know, for the team to succeed, whoever is coaching the team should be given a lot of time? Did you feel that from the fans?
I think so. Yeah. I really did feel that. I think you have to give the fans more credit than we give them. You know, they understand and know basketball more than we think they do. You know, so they're not in the locker rooms. They're not watching every game, but from what they see, what they read, you know, these people, they know basketball.
So do you get tweets like, Coach, sana nandiyan ka pa, sana ikaw pa rin coach?
I do.
Like
So
like
it's
last night,
really,
May-
I got
Tatanong lang, baka...
no, tama. I got a few last night.
Sorry.
I got a few hundred last night.
Meron.
Joke lang yun.
Gano'ng katagal na ba huling nag-champion Ginebra?
Last
wow.
time, this is the
2008.
8th year. So
This is the
7th year.
seventh-
7th or 8th year was the
2008.
last time. Yeah.
Pero
Tayo
ganun,
nag-over nun eh, 2008.
ganun naman talaga buhay ng coach eh. I mean, not only in the PBA, even in sa NBA, di ba? You have teams that make the playoffs
Yeah.
and then
Tapos
all of a
next
sudden,
year,
papalitan
oh,
mo
yeah.
yung coach. I mean,
It happens.
talagang ganun na. I mean, once you take that job
Yeah.
as a head coach, you have to be ready also to
Right.
Lose
to
that
lose that job.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's ridiculous. Honestly, I think it's ridiculous na it's parang this phenomenon na kailangan manalo ka na yun, kundi I'll fire you. And it's not just in the PBA, yun nga, lahat eh, even NBA,
Yeah.
FIBA, lahat. So
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous in a sense na parang mabibilang mo na lang, like kunyari mga Coach K.
Right.
Yung mga ganyan, yung mga, ilan na lang yung talaga, they stay with one team and then
Right.
they're there. And people don't care, hindi na nagbibilang ng
Right.
championship. They care more about being identified with a coach, with a winner, na, with the values and the
Right.
culture. Ganyan. Ang nangyayari ngayon, parang, now everyone thinks na, if we get a coach, this coach has to deliver wins now.
Right.
And I think I think while their management has good reason, they can justify it, but I just think it's unfair to all these hardworking coaches. And that's why I always tell these guys I have the utmost respect for all the coaches from all levels, high school, college onwards, because it's such a volatile industry.
Yeah.
Right.
Na you can be champion now, and in the next conference,
yeah.
tagilid,
Commentator ka na ulit.
katabi na kita. Nag-analyze ka na sa tabi
But
mo.
how do you change it? Because it's a culture. Naging culture na siya
Yeah,
sa ano eh.
yeah.
And it doesn't matter. You have let's face it. Kia was what were they? 1 and 13 last ano? And they also had a coaching change. So it
Right.
doesn't really matter if you're a new team, if there's nothing to expect, if you're a loaded team with a lot of expectations, parang whatever you do,
Right.
it's championship or bust. For
Right.
many,
Yeah.
for many.
Yeah, even for the lowest of teams,
Yes, yes.
parang yun din yung demand. Eh. So,
Well, it's obviously it's the easiest, diba? It's only one guy.
Yeah,
It's
true.
the easiest to fire one guy compared to revamping the whole team. Although a lot of teams try to revamp and make changes quickly, but going back to what you said, it's part of the culture. And once
Yeah.
I've accepted that, I knew that there's also that possibility that you have to
you
perform
knew that,
well.
and
right.
every day while you were coach of Ginebra, you knew
Right.
that they could take you out anytime.
Right, but the difference was they gave me a time of 2 years that this has to happen within the 2 years. So medyo short yata tayo ng 2 years, diba? Wala pa
Pa rin.
wala
Eh,
pa
baka
2
naman
years.
mangyari
Two
pa rin.
conferences.
Hindi naman
sure.
sinabi na hanggang mangyari, kailangan nandito ka.
That's true. That's true. That's
Ano
true.
calendar ba yung sunod niyo?
No, all jokes aside, yeah, it's part of it. So once you understand that, then you just have to grow and get better. So
Yeah. Well, swerte lang no yung I think swerte yung the next coach na magpapa-champion sa Ginebra. Parang
Bakit swerte? Ang hirap nga eh.
mahirap pero kung mapa-champion nga.
Kung
Right.
kung
Yung
sino
guy,
magpa-champion.
naku, napakaswerte.
Swerte niya pag
Right.
nag-champion. Next conference, natalo. Patay na natin.
Ang hirap eh.
Kasi kailangan mo i-maintain. Sabi ni Jeff, di ba? It has to be a culture of winning. It can't be a one-time
One
thing.
time.
Tapos nakakuha ka ng magaling na import, you dominate the league and then
Right.
champion ka. Taas na
Right.
ulit na expectation sa'yo sa susunod. But, what if it was just the import na nagdala sa'yo? Patay ka naman sa susunod na conference.
Yeah. Pero yun nga yun ang perils of coaching right now. Pero you have to accept it. Ganun na talaga ngayon eh.
Let's say, Kuya, how can you be a Popovich na talagang, you cannot imagine the Spurs without him as head coach, whether they're champions or not. How do you achieve that kind of longevity with just one team?
right.
Ako, I don't know. Honestly.
How do you do it?
But remember, Greg Popovich, if he didn't win this year, well, people would have doubted him. Remember, before they made it to the finals against the Heat, they had the best record 2 years before that, or at least one of the best records, and they couldn't get out of the first round. The
second
other one
round,
was the
yeah.
semifinals. And people were doubting them na sinasabi nila na, hindi, pang ano na lang kayo, pang regular season na lang kayo, or ganyan. So, you have to get over that hump of, matatanggal na siya. Tapos biglang, ang galing-galing niya. And it's a long process for you to get there.
Or you need a GM na believes in you
understands,
1,000%.
right. I think more than anything, that's part of it. You have to show that every year there's growth.
Okay.
Depending on players you have and maybe picks you have next year. Maybe you had injuries this year, so it all, you know, it all could determine your outcome for that year. But having said that, you should also have a GM that trusts and
100%.
sees your vision, sees what you're trying to do. And, you know, I'm not shy to talk about Coach Sim all the time because he's the one that you know, sort of raised me in my professional basketball career as a player and also as a coach. You learn from him, and you know, it's not just winning the basketball game with him. And I think Coach Alex Compton right now with Alaska he has the same views and approach with how he's coaching Alaska. It's, you know, we're also building character, and then we're trying to change not only their lives, yung mga players, but also the lives of their families. So when you think about that, you know,
It's almost
sounds
like a
like
college
medyo
coach.
drama. Yeah, a little bit. It
Yeah.
sounds like it's dramatic, like you read it in a book, diba? Pero honestly, those are the kind of things that allow you to grow and get better. And eventually, you win consistently. Once you hit that level, you win consistently.
Okay. So at least okay na yan. Sa
Nalino
learning
na natin,
experience na yan.
Oh, nalino na natin.
Sapatos naman pag-usapan natin muna.
Mamaya pa. I think people are curious about what Jeff sees with his new team now.
Yeah.
Yan, ano ba yung mga play na gagamitin nyo? Ganyan.
Lalo na para bukas.
For tomorrow.
Kasi curious lang, no? Ano ba strengths ng import? Malakas ba sa kaliwa o kanan?
Scouting report.
Kasi first time i-import nila ano.
Wala kayong ano. Di ba kayo nag-scouting? Ano ba?
Tatanong kami, pero baka mali. Kaya
Wala
try to. How's your
be
import? No? Good?
He's a stud, so be ready. He's just, quiet.
Sabi mo ganun lang. Kung kumita lang, okay lang.
Pa, nag-shrink yung import nila, ha?
Bakit?
Oo, kasi you search for him sa internet.
Oh,
Lahat
ano?
listed 6'9".
6'9".
Oo. Mineasure sa PBA, 6'5 and 3/4.
Sana lang.
Di ba binobloat yung height pag yung sa resume?
Grabe naman listed ano ka ba?
5'8".
Ama, ganun na nga.
Ganun sa birth certificate ko lang yung 5'8" eh.
Pinakanak ka 5'8"? Anong birth certificate? Hindi, grabe, nagulat nga ako. Paano, ang laki naman ng ano
Ate, what's your imports official?
Official.
Legal height.
He's right under 6'6".
6'5 and
Yeah,
3/4.
right under 6'6".
Yun, totoo.
Pero he plays bigger than his height. Oo, galing yung import nila.
Yeah, I agree.
Ayaw na magsalita, biglang tumahimik.
Kasi kayo, generic na lang. People, Alaska fans are saying that Alaska is the new never say die team.
Uy.
Wow.
Bigat nun, ha?
From
From
former never say die coach. How do you feel about that
Actually,
when people say that?
That's an awesome compliment for the Alaska Aces. No? Coach Alex has these guys really working hard, playing hard. You know, I don't know what it is, but he's got a group of guys who are just fighters, and obviously
Marami nga. Nakita namin nung finals, daming fighter.
Pero you see that quality. I mean, you've been there for a week, and you see it. I mean, you see it with the players. They have this attitude that they don't back down.
For sure. It's what you see in the game. You see every day at practice. So, and you know, the culture also that he's established there, galing, very disciplined.
So now, in love ka na kay Calvin?
Yeah.
Bakit dati? Doon nasa San Miguel. Hindi, seryoso. Doon nasa San Miguel. Wala ka pa doon. Doon nasa San Miguel. What would Jeff say about Calvin Abueva? Yung totoo, ha?
Hindi ko pwede i-mention dito eh.
Tayo lang naman. Wala namang makarinig. It's just us. Look, Jeff, whatever we discuss here stays here.
Stays here.
Yeah,
Okay.
stays here. Don't forget the camera.
And the millions that are watching.
Basta, sikreto lang natin to, ha?
wala magsasalita.
So, anong sinasabi ni Jeff about Calvin Abueva
He's
dati?
such a fox.
Maganda.
Ayun.
Ang bilis eh.
Ngayon, now,
Now, we all know that Calvin is the type na pagkalaban mo, maiinis ka, di ba? So, when you get to know, like I said, even if you hated him, I've always said after. You can attest to this.
Yeah.
But I don't know him.
But what would you say after you play him dati? Na, you know, this Calvin Abueva.
I would say he's lucky I'm not playing. I'm just joking.
Kasi ako, like, I get asked almost every day, is Calvin Abueva a dirty player?
Yeah.
Is he a dirty player?
You know, honestly, I don't think he is. That's so.
Oh, yeah, coming, coming
it's
from an
not.
ex-player, you know.
He works hard.
Oh.
He'll sacrifice his body, obviously, you know.
Pati yung
para
body
sa-
ng kalaban.
Body ng kalaban.
Sacrifice niya.
Yes, they are. You're not gonna deny kasi kita-kita naman sa TV. There are a lot of extra movements.
Yeah.
Pero he's not. I mean, you know, he's one of many who also has lots of extra movements. So dirty? No, I just think he's just, you know, he just wants to win. So, like I said, he's a fighter.
What can you say about this? I was meeting I met a friend and sinasabi sa akin, okay yung Calvin Abueva.
Yeah.
Nag-enjoy siya panoorin at lahat. But he just can't root for him kasi dirty player.
Kasi dirty.
Parang okay, pero pangit kasi dirty player. So
Dirty.
what would you say to fans like that? That, you know, Calvin's okay with, they're
Right.
okay with Calvin, pero to them, he crosses the line, he crosses the
Yeah,
line
he
just a
does.
little bit much.
Kasi meron yung intense, and then
Tapos,
meron yung nananakit,
sobra.
ganyan.
You know, I'm not gonna deny that he does cross that line often. And being a young player, I think as he matures, he'll understand that better.
Mas matatago niya na.
Mas
Mas simple.
he'll turn his back.
Ano gagawin sa harap ng referee? Kita-kita
So, but he has, I mean, in fairness to him, since Alex has taken over, there's been a major difference in his antics, diba? So, you know, again, I think as he matures, he's understanding how important he is for the team. So, hopefully that'll lessen. But, you know, you don't want to take out that fight in him. Wag naman sobra where you're hurting people. Wag naman ganun. Pero, you gotta love his competitiveness.
Yeah, you don't want to tame him, di ba?
Yeah.
Oo.
That's how he is.
Pag nawala yung pagka-the beast niya,
Right.
parang sayang.
Yeah.
That's how he gets his double-doubles.
Right.
And,
Tenacious, very tenacious.
okay. What did you, what will be your role for Alaska? I mean, people know that you're part of the coaching staff, but
Right.
parang if you can go into specifics, what will you do for the Aces?
Well, obviously my title is an assistant coach,
Yeah.
so I told them this going in. Coach Alex and Coach Louis, they have an awesome tandem going. You know, they understand each other. You know, I know Alex used to play
Play
for
for him,
Coach
yeah.
Louis, and they've been successful since Alex has been on board. I'm not trying to mess that up. You know, basta maganda yung ano nila, yung
Chemistry nila.
their chemistry. Actually, that's the word. And then I'm just trying to go in and share, you know, the little that I know, the experience that I know,
Especially against a triangle.
against the triangle, a little bit. And then I told him that I told Coach Alex this, that they were one play away from winning the championship last
true.
conference.
That's
okay?
true.
Either one more stop or one more basket.
Yeah,
diba?
yeah.
Okay. I told them, you know, to make it sort of simple. I want to be that one play. I want to make the difference with that one play. So I'm coming in there I'm gonna learn from them. They're gonna learn from me. And, you know, it's a good place to work, I think. And I'm only gonna get better, and hopefully Alaska will get better also.
Okay. Tapos na yung basketball na. Hindi naman sa outside of basketball.
Ano yung gusto mo tanongin?
Ano pa ba?
Ano ba yung gusto mo malaman?
Pagkatapos.
Let's take a break muna. We'll take a short break.
Para ready
Richard wants to know about the personal stuff kay Coach Jeff. Kanino pa gusto tanongin? We'll take a short break.
Basta outside basketball.
We'll talk about the outside basketball stuff ni Coach Jeff Cariaso when we return.
Talaga nangyari yun?
Sayang! Hindi on cam, oh.
Ay, hindi pa patay yun.
Sayang, napaamin natin. Kaya lang, hindi nakita eh. May agreement tayo, hindi natin pwedeng.
Ay, hindi na. Kahit rewind, wala yun.
Wala. Declare eh. Sayang, sayang. By the way-
Next time na lang.
Next time, oo.
Pag commercial, manood pa rin kayo.
By the way, Jeff, if you're thirsty, may double black kami dyan.
Pwede.
Kung maabot, kung makukuha mo.
Okay, shot.
Okay, as we promised, we'll talk about the person. Tama na, we talked about the Hinebra, we talked about Alaska, we'll talk about yung the stuff that goes on outside of the basketball court kay the Jet.
Yeah.
Para people... Ba't ka pinapawisan, coach? Bukas pa naman yung...
bigla rito.
Shot ka muna.
Hindi,
Pampagana.
Hindi, may mga private investigator kami dito. So we raided your social media and looked at stuff. And sana you can tell our bros about stuff that goes on in your life. Okay,
Good.
let's go. First
happening?
photo. Let's do it. Yes, 3, 2, 1, go.
Wala pala tayo.
Mga IG natin,
Saan yung Instagram natin?
mga investigador natin, wala pa?
Ano?
Mga,
sana. Meron yan,
mga pictures natin dyan.
Okay?
Ayan,
Ayan na.
Hintayin lang natin.
There you go. Yeah.
Wow!
Yun, no?
Okay.
Ganun pa rin itsura mo. Kung ano yung pareho lang. Oo nga. Pareho lang ng pareho. Hindi nagbabago.
But tell us about this picture.
Well, that was
One by
King.
one.
One
Stay
by
pause
one.
muna.
Pause
Pause
tayo,
muna.
pause.
Yan.
Pause mo na. Pause it.
Pause.
Yan, pause.
Pause it. Pause it.
Pause.
Okay.
Pause it. Yan. Okay.
That was King last conference. So my youngest son is now living with me, staying with me because everyone else is in the States. So this is him just taking pictures with Tony and Sonny.
Parang ano, no? Parang may pahiwatig na dyan pa lang, eh, no?
It's a sign.
It's a
Ninong
sign.
ba sila, Ninong?
Hindi.
No?
Hindi.
No. Oh, okay.
They just practiced after us, so I
okay.
saw them.
I see. Okay, next.
Okay, next.
Next picture.
Kasi maganda yung kanina.
Ay, yung kanina, no? Yung
Okay,
baby pa.
pause it. Pause it.
Again, that's
Oh,
me
ang
and
dami
King,
yung ano,
and
ang
we
dami yung
are in
pictures.
Singapore, where you went.
Oh, wala, ikaw rin, no?
I went to Singapore.
ka rin.
Ganda Singapore, bro.
Super fun.
Ganda dun. What were you doing here?
We
Vacation
were in
to?
it was during our break after last conference. So before I got the wonderful news.
Sana di na ako nag-Singapore.
Sayang pera, eh, no?
Nung pumunta ka Singapore, ano na ba? Medyo in limbo ka na ba noon?
To be honest with you, no.
Wala. When you went to Singapore,
Yeah.
by your knowledge, you were still Hinebra
Yes,
coach.
of course.
Hinebra
Yeah,
coach.
yes,
Wow.
of course, yes. So,
Doon mo ba nalaman while you were in
Well,
Singapore?
no.
Pagbalik.
I found out pagbalik ko rito.
Pagbalik.
Nangyari kasi yun, I read it like everyone else.
Wow.
I found
Are
out
you
like
wow,
how
what,
everyone
Twitter,
else
ganon?
found out. Yeah. Spin.
Eh, yun na
Your
nauuna,
reliable
eh.
spin.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That's me and King in, I forgot where. Well, this is my daughter. This is Aya. She was 7, 8? This age, yeah.
She's in the States.
She's in the States now, yeah. So she's
So
15
she plays
now.
volleyball?
She plays volleyball,
volleyball
yeah.
siya, di
So
ba?
hopefully I'm trying to convince her to come to college.
Ateneo
Come to
dapat,
college, yeah.
Ateneo.
Hindi, pero ano si Jeff, dapat maglalasal yan.
True.
Yeah.
True
That's
story.
good,
Oh,
Yeah,
yan,
yeah,
siya,
yeah,
siya.
yeah.
oh.
Ano yan, no?
There's Aya now.
O, tingnan mo, naka-blue. Oh. Lady Eagles na yan, oh.
Hindi, para naman matuloy yung ano
Wait,
ni
so
Jeff
wait a
na
minute.
maglasal.
Oh, sige, don't show the pictures first. Paano ka muntikan maglasal? What was that story?
Well, when I came here with the guest team from the States, we were a seeded guest team sa PBL at the time. So I was the youngest on that team.
Okay.
So we came here, played PBL. At the end of that conference, Coach Gabby of LaSalle Velasco was talking to me about possibly going to LaSalle. So I went home first for Christmas, came back came back after New Year's, and then I was supposed to enroll the following year. So practiced with LaSalle for 2 weeks, and then during that period, he got fired. So
Malapiting ka sa
I was sort of stuck, so not knowing where to go. So I was gonna go home now, and then finally I saw an invitation on, a little printout on Tempo.
Abante.
Hindi, Abante. Tempo pa yun.
Hindi, sa Abante, iba, hindi siya nagbabasa ng
Iba
sports.
yun.
Kay Ceres. Sabi ni Ceres,
That's how I used
pupunta
to,
daw.
you know what's funny? I used to practice my Tagalog reading there.
Sabihin ko doon sa natutong
to my teammates.
Ceres.
And wala na, nakalagay practice Nikon, we'll have tryouts, we'll join PBL. So I got on the Nikon team and that was it. Been
The
here-
first time na
been
maging teammate sa Nico.
sa
Parang
Nikon.
Nikon ka pala.
Yes.
Di halata. Di halata. Di naman ako pinalaro.
Kasi bata ka pa nun eh. But did you know that you were going to end up in the PBA?
Did I know? Well, that was the goal.
That was your goal
After
talaga.
playing and being fairly successful in the PBL, that was the goal, to hopefully make the next level and, make the PBA. So, yeah, it
Buti
worked
pala,
out.
hindi ka naglasal. Hindi, para kang tong dalawa na to.
Baka PBA rin naman kami.
Oo naman.
Yun lang naman hinahabol niya. Hindi naman niya sinabi naman.
Okay, let's go back to the
Pictures,
live
pictures
photos. Yeah, live. By the way, huwag kang mag-alala, Jeff. Carefully selected yung mga
Okay.
photos.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Wala mo kayo makikita dun.
Puro family. mahusay. Maingat.
What's with his face?
Mahilig ka. Duck face,
It's
duck
just one
face.
of those things with my daughter. She said, Dad, just, one time she said, Dad, let's do a duck face. So we did. And then wala lang.
Eh, di na nga nila ginagawa.
Question.
Ikaw
Oh,
na
yan,
lang
oh.
gumagawa eh.
Nung nabasa mo sa spin, ganyan yung reaction.
That was my exact facial expression. Exactly. Exact facial expression.
Oy, San Francisco dyan.
Yes.
Oh, di happy
Champion.
champion.
Very happy.
Talagang kinuha natin lahat ng duck face. Pinapakita natin lahat eh. Okay.
So,
That's enough. No more duck face.
Face.
grabe. No? So, okay. How did it start?
How do I start?
Alin? Yung Titan.
Titan.
Pawis, may tissue ba kayo? Pinagpapawisan eh.
Sa Titan, yung ano.
Hindi!
How did
Yung
it
Titan
start?
na business.
Yes.
Yun, paano ba?
paano
Okay ka lang,
nag-start?
para nag-hyperventilate ka, coach.
Paano ba nag-start yan?
Yan.
Titan
Of
na
course,
yan?
Titan is the very popular barbershop, basketball
Slash
lifestyle.
retail store, yeah.
Yan, okay. Okay, paano ba nag-start niyan? Whose idea was it? And,
Well, I'm very fortunate to have a group of guys with me, namely Dennis Tan, who's our CEO, our president, and just a bunch of basketball fanatics who played in different levels. Some college, I made the pros, a couple guys, weekend warriors. My partner used to work for Nike, so he knows his shoes, he knows his basketball. One thing we do have in common is we all love basketball. So for love of the game is our mantra, and that's something we really take to heart. And it has grown these last 5 years. So it's grown from one, barbershop / shoe store into 7 now. And it's unbelievable. I think we opened it up at a time where just the fad and the people being fanatics with shoes really hit the market. So it's growing, getting better.
So where'd you get
really
that
fortunate.
idea, barber shop and then slash?
Yeah, that's more of an idea we got from barbershops in the States.
Okay.
When you go to barbershops in the States, it's more of, you're at home. It's more of a community. So you can talk basketball. You can, talk about the game last night.
Yeah.
Basta, you go there to relax. Guys go there, get a haircut, relax. So we wanted to sort of create that community, within a retail store. So it's not just a normal store and then you walk in, you walk out. So, when you go into our store, there's the PBA's on or NBA's on. And Slam magazine is there, so you can read about basketball.
that's an excellent
and
magazine.
Really excellent
Yeah, and
magazine.
I heard that the editor-in-chief is an excellent guy.
He's
Pinalitan na
awesome.
ba? Nakakalola palitan.
So yeah, it's working out. So we're really fortunate. Really blessed.
When you guys opened, marami ng sneakerheads talaga or parang underground pa yung, just the love
Right,
for shoes, and you were one of the catalysts of guys just picking up these select shoes and all that.
Well, even before, like I said, I think the timing was perfect. Because even at that time, Nike wasn't so much carrying the retros that come
the
out
limited
now,
stuff,
the
yeah.
limited stuff that people are just dying for, lining up for. No? So I guess with it also improving and it being such a big hit here in Asia, especially here in the Philippines, I think Nike was really just here. You guys want it? Here, take it. So at the time, kasi I think they felt like there was no market. So it just really worked out. The relationship with Nike also actually is a big factor. I was a Nike athlete for 14 out of the 15 years, and that helped a little bit. But yeah, just I think more than it, the timing was perfect. Now that it's available, those sneakerheads who were going to Hong Kong to get their pairs or going to maybe the States.
Padala, ganyan,
Yeah,
no?
papadala sila from wherever. Now they have it here. So
Grabe yung
make
mga
it easier.
line,
And it
yung
just got
pila.
bigger.
Yung
Yeah,
mga
oh, yeah.
pila whenever there's a release.
Yeah.
Why do people line up? Why do they, like, some camp overnight, some camp for nights, for
Right.
days, just to get
Just
their
to
hands
get
on
a
a
pair.
limited release? Why do they do that?
Well, sometimes those are the mechanics of how they were releasing the shoe. They have no choice. You know, if they don't know anyone, you're just a guy who just wants the pair, then you'll line up. And normally, if you're gonna line up, I mean, I hate to say it, but if you're able and lucky enough to get a pair, then you know how much that pair is gonna be worth. So that's why these
Yeah.
resellers are popping up left and right also.
Yeah.
So dami resellers all over.
I'd like to thank Titan for my shoes.
No problem. Thank you.
The bro show
Yeah, the
would
bro
like to
show.
know.
We always,
Yeah.
yeah, kaya alam, they always give us the retro pair.
Oo nga, napapansin namin. Retro yung
Lagi
sabi.
basta yung mga na-release noong 90s, tayo binibigyan eh.
Pang matanda, gano'n.
Napansin na kami. Uy, may 90s na naman. Uy.
Oh, yeah, the bro show.
Ba, malay mo.
Oh,
Guess na natin si Jeff.
yeah.
Aba, a few episodes from now, meron ng kidlat dito sa likod na bro show, tapos may kidlat.
Papapalitan yung kidlat ng bro show natin.
Madadagdagan na yan ng Titan dyan, no?
Actually, a funny story, yung logo ng bro show was actually made by a guy from Titan.
Oh, really? Ting made that?
Ting yan. Yeah. He made that.
awesome. Ting is awesome.
Sabi ko kasi kay Ting, gusto ko gayahin mo yung kidlat ng Titan.
Ganda naman eh.
No, Ting is an awesome graphic
Yeah,
artist. So
super.
he made our bro show logo.
These last couple years, he's always been top 3 in our. We have end of the year awards for our MVP or Employer of the Year. If I'm not mistaken, he won it last year.
I'm not
Galing.
surprised.
Galing.
Okay, where are the Titan branches now?
Okay, we have our flagship is in the Fort, so Titan Fort 2 Parkade. Okay, there's one in Glorieta 5. There's one in La Salle, Taft.
Wow.
There's one in Katipunan.
Wow.
Ganun.
And wait, one more. There's one in Ronak.
Wow!
And then we have one in Alabang, Molito. So
But the first
Titan
one
Molito.
was in
The first one is in Burgos
Burgos,
Circle. Yeah.
which is wala na yan.
Wala na yan, yeah. So
I-move lang.
we just moved, yeah. There was a period when medyo sabay yung
Sabay yun,
dalawa.
Parkade tsaka Burgos.
Right. But we felt like foot traffic is more
There.
obvious where we are now.
Titan as a brand has really grown.
Yeah.
Kasi makikita mo, even sa mga yung barangay level, I mean, if they imitate yung mga jerseys ng PBA, pati yung Titan.
Andun eh, di ba? Yeah.
Ay, ginagaya na rin eh. yung Titan eh.
No, I'll tell you a story. I was sent to Washington, D.C. for the KD7 launch last year. And then this high-ranking guy from Nike was giving a talk. And so tinanong niya, kasi international media.
Yeah.
Okay, you're from what country? So, France, Canada, siyempre, ako, Philippines. Sabi niya, oh, Philippines. Titan, ha? I need to check that out. Text ka agad ako. It's getting international acclaim, and for good reason, because you go to a Titan store, iba yung experience talaga. Baka kung nandun si Jeff. Ano pa, coach? Diba? Discount naman dyan. yun eh. Dapat merong bro show discount. Dapat if they say, coach, I saw you on the bro show, dapat automatic.
20.
20.
Pwede.
Pwede. O yan, ha?
Kailangan makita muna siya sa time.
Kailangan makita siya sa Titan. Magtatago ngayon si Jeff.
Tsaka may proof muna sila na nanood sila ng bro show.
Dapat papakita nila. Oo, nanood ako. Bro show. 20%.
Dami nun. Patay na
But-
namin.
But what's going to be the vision for Titan now? You already have so many branches. People know about it. What's the next step for?
Well, one thing, the reason why I think our brand is able to grow and our branches are, going along with it is also just our vision and what we do behind the scenes. So, Slam is one, and our Slam magazine is really doing well. It's really getting guys out there. If you're a basketball fanatic and you are featured in Slam, it's a big thing. And then the other is our grassroots program with our camps and just helping out other people as much as we can. Everything basketball related. I think that's where we're just trying to continue to push, continue to grow. My partner always says, and this is Dennis Tan, he always says, we can never forget about that kid who just wants a pair of shoes. He shouldn't have to line up. He shouldn't be so difficult for him to get just a simple pair to play in. You know, so yes, you know, all the retros that are coming out are awesome. Don't get me wrong, you know, and our sneakerheads are a big part of what we do. But you also can't forget about the kid who just, you know, basketball fanatic who wants to play and just wants a pair of basketball shoes. So I think just staying with that and always believing in that, and you know, will allow us to grow and get better. So.
Dinig mo bro, Slam is doing really well. Ang laki na sweldo ng editor doon. Grabe. Sigurado ako.
Wala naman tayo, hindi naman natin
Di man lang
nararamdaman.
di man lang natin nararamdaman. Ha?
Excuse me,
Oh. Doing well eh.
PB assistant coach kaya kayong dalawa. Yun ang di ko nararamdaman. Ilang beses
Oy,
pa nag-champion.
Oy,
Wala pa tayo ha.
Wala pa.
Alam mo ba, ang dami kong pandesal na binigay sa'yo nun.
Kambal pandesal.
Oo.
Open pa ba yung kambal pandesal mo?
May lapit na. Malapit na. Okay pa.
Oo naman, Christmas party kayo, di ba? Nakita ko sa Instagram.
Hindi ba? Para magiging farewell party na.
Paligod lagyan mo ng barbershop.
Yun na nga eh.
Oh, Kambal, barbershop, and pandesal.
Yan, pwede.
Hindi, oh. Habang nagpapagupit ka, bibili ka ng ano, pandikoko.
Kain-kain ka dun.
Okay, we have how many more minutes left? Okay lang? Okay. Maybe it's a chance for Jeff to talk to the Alaska fans who are welcoming you back. Did fans already say, hey, welcome back,
Yeah,
coach?
you know, again, through social media, you get a lot of tweets, a lot of comments on my Instagram pictures. But yeah, to all the Alaska Aces family, I just want to say thank you for your warm welcome. You know, it's really nice to be back. You know, this is really home. So, you know, I'm happy to be here, and, you know, I'll do my best to you know, not only improve the team, but hopefully, you know, reach that point of winning a championship. So that's a goal.
I won't wish you luck.
Especially tomorrow. Especially tomorrow night.
After tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. What about for the Ginebra fans? May ano ka pa ba?
Yeah,
I'm sure they.
You know, they will always
Think
be,
about
you know,
you.
close to my heart, only because, you know, I've had a lot of support all throughout. They've been really, really nice, really warm. At the beginning, people say, be careful, you know, a lot of them will bash you and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But generally, and I can honestly say this, you know, there's a lot of people out there supporting and being positive. So to all you Ginebra fans, also thank you. It was a pleasure coaching your team. You know, it just didn't work out, but it happened. So thank you again.
May tweets ba tayo?
Ayan, sige, okay. Let's go to
Tweets
your,
tayo?
before we
Kahit
end.
konti.
Okay.
Okay.
May question tayo.
Sige,
Twitter.
go.
Kayo na magbasa, baka magkamali na naman ako.
Baka wild. Ano ba? Orchid?
Wild Orchid.
Wild orchid. Jason.
Kaya ko yan. If you'll be given a chance to play in the PBA again,
Yeah.
good. Yeah. What team would you
good
play
question.
for? From Crean.
Crean, yes, from Crean.
Good question, Crean. I'd have to give you two answers to that. One would be Alaska, only because I've played for them for most of my career, and then the other is Pure Foods. You know, play under Coach Tim, play under Coach Richard, and Coach Jason. Are you sure? Why not?
Tanduay na lang.
Tayo na lang dalawa.
Uy, pero dahil pa naglalaro galing Tanduay hanggang ngayon, ha?
That's true.
Oh, player mo lahat.
Oo nga, no? Si Eric tsaka si Don. Okay, from May, what is the biggest lesson you learned last year? Any regrets?
No regrets.
No regrets,
And I mean that, no regrets. What is the biggest lesson you learned last year? That you have to have everything on paper? No, I'm joking, huh? But I mean it. No,
Joking ba tayo?
okay, go. Next question.
Meron pa. Ito, meron pa. Ano ba?
Triangle outfit.
Okay, ba? Wala na ba yun?
Ayan na.
That's it. Alright.
No. So, ano gagawin niyo bukas? Hanggang sa trial.
Siyempre hindi niya sasabihin sa'yo. Do your homework, bro. O ba?
Mamaya, lasingin ko to mamaya.
O sige, ito, last question before we say goodbye. What is your source of, What is your source of inspiration now?
Yung ganado sa buhay.
Oh,
Diba?
hindi na siya ganado sa buhay.
Ay, wala ka lang gana
hindi
sa
na sa Ginebra eh.
Hindi pa naman hindi Ginebra pwede
Pero
ganado sa
what
buhay.
is inspiring you nowadays?
Yan.
What is inspiring? Good question.
What is inspiring? It can be a thing, pwedeng tao, pwedeng bagay, pwedeng hayop. Pwedeng gamit sa kusina, gamit sa bahay.
A, B, C, D, E, F.
No, what is inspiring
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
What's inspiring me? A lot of things. A lot of things. My son, obviously.
Yes.
Baba?
Siyempre.
Baba?
Well, yeah, his nickname is Baba. His name's King.
Ano pag si Baba ba libre sapatos sa Titan?
Siyempre naman, no?
Swerte ng bata na yun. Madami sapatos. What else? Just the fact that I'm moving to a new team. So that's very inspiring. And
Huwag ka ma-pressure. Tanong ko lang naman.
Oh, naghihintay lang naman kami. Hindi tayo
just those two.
Hindi tayo makapag-closing nito hanggang hindi mo masagot.
Oo, kahit ano lang, patayin na yung ilaw. Dito tayo.
Dito.
Okay, but thank you,
You're
Coach
welcome.
Jeff.
You're welcome.
Good luck
Yeah.
in the next
Thank you.
chapter of your basketball career.
Just
Thank
not
you very
tomorrow.
much.
Just
not tomorrow. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Miko. Thank you, Jace.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Coach Jeff, and thank you, bros.
Thank you, bros.
Wait, teka, nga pala.
don't forget,
Hey.
bakit?
Iyan naman, mag-thank you tayo because yung na-nominate.
Yes,
Ay.
thank you to Nafnan.
We'll post it
Philippines.
next week.
Bro Show was nominated for the Powerhouse Podcast of 2014.
Nice.
Go to blogopolis.ph to vote.
Yeah,
Okay?
and we'll have the graphic next week. Just
Yeah,
so
next
that,
week. And we'll put
so
it
they
on
have
social media. So
And-
vote for the Bro Show so that we can win for Powerhouse Podcast of 2014. Thank you, Nafnang, for the nomination.
Thank you.
And to our friends that actually saw our social media, our tweets, or our Instagram posts regarding the show, and were asking why they couldn't watch it yet in Singapore and Japan, and some other countries. We've already spoken to management, and in a few, we will already be putting up the show on iTunes, Google Play, and on YouTube.
Wow.
So,
Good.
antayin nyo na lang, ha? Nandyan na rin yan. Kung pinaparod nyo ngayon to sa iTunes, late na yung sinabi. Download nyo na.
But so
Congrats!
We'll try to reach as many bros.
Yes, and try to vote. We'll post it.
Yeah,
huh?
vote for.
Can I say something real quick?
yeah,
Okay. Is it all right?
Yeah,
I mean, this is the same area where I think they have 360, right? I think.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
Same
yes.
studio.
Yeah.
360.
So wala na, I just want to say hi to Aaron and say hi to Nico
And
and say hi to Erica. And wala lang. Good luck to your new show.
close ka pala kay Aaron sa akin, Nico. Wow. Ako yung nag-hyperventilate.
Hindi halata.
Ako yung kinabahan eh. Bakit ako yung kinakabahan? Parang ako yung afflicted eh. Na talagang binanggit ni Jeff eh.
Kumbaga, nakawala na eh. U-turn pa eh.
Oo nga eh. Kumbaga sana tayo hindi. Sige na, boss. Sige na. Binakita ulit.
Ito
Bumalik.
lisensya ko.
That's why.
Kasi I want to go home. I want to go home
That's
now.
why. Para doon sa mga nanonood ng episode na to, very important, ng episode na to, and you're going to tell your friends about this episode. Hang on till the end of the show.
Parang ito yung last scene sa Avengers.
Yes.
Lumabas na yung ano
Pakawala
eh.
eh.
Bilib ba ako?
Pakawala.
Pinakawala na nga natin. Bumalik pa sinabi, hindi coding ako. Coding. Hulihin niyo ako. Bilib naman ako dito. Grabe, saludo ako sa'yo. Talaga, kinilig ako, binagit mo si Aaron tsaka si Nico.
Ay, yung ano natin. Yung blackout natin or the 44.
Oh yeah.
Ayaw nga pala, okay. So before we end, let's just do a 44-second moment of silence for the fallen 44. Okay, mga bayani natin yan. They sacrificed for you, for the country. So we will do a 44-second. Okay, time it. 44-second moment of silence here on the Bro Show. Okay.
Okay.
Huwag natin kakalimutan na when people sacrifice for the country, they should never
Kami
be...
ang, dyan kami saludo.
you should
Saludo kami sa iyo. Saludo rin kami.
Dali na, parang papalpitate pa rin yung ano ko. Hindi ko Grabe. Ngayon, kung di nyo alam kung bakit nagpapalpitate, malalaman nyo rin. Malalaman nyo rin yan
Dali.
eventually.
Hoy, Erica, i-tweet mo, Instagram mo tong episode na to, ha?
Grabe. Woo! Okay, thank you, The Jet.
Thank you,
Thank you to Coach Jeff Cariaso. Bros, we'll see you next week.
All right, see you.